supplement that income.
What was a trigger that you decided I'm gonna quit the school and I'm gonna just go all in on tattooing? What was the trigger? Like my trigger was I don't want to live with a regret that I always said I always wanted a tattoo shop.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I thought that since I started, I was like one day I'm gonna fucking make a tattoo shop and I'm gonna give people a
What's up, guys? So we are back with the IQ project right here with Rickytatt,
Yep.
Romeoshades. Another episode of your most favorite interesting persons.
People's way.
Sorry, I forgot to.
And mention Carlos.
And we got Carlos,
He's
the most
mic'd
important
today.
guy. He's mic'd today, so he's gonna be in the conversation. Today, it's been an interesting week, right? Last week we had Mario Inks in the house. He has a lot of good information. We were talking about his process here and there, his story really of how he got started and all that. Inspired a lot of people. A lot of people wanted to see that interview. We got hit up a lot for it. It's finally out. Go check it out. It's on the YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that was an interesting week. What'd you do this week?
What did I do? I didn't work much last week, so
No,
I was
Being a
just
bum?
like
usual.
no, I was here. Oh,
Yeah.
I was here, just hanging.
Hanging to the left. Yeah.
Always to the left.
I mean,
It's been a slow, not a slow week, but just chill. Nothing too crazy. I feel like right now we're just focusing on the media, the podcast and everything. So
yeah. Do you feel like you needed that though? Like we went so hard in the beginning in January, February, and then like right now in March, like at least for a week to just slow down.
Like a smooth week.
Like
Yeah.
a smooth week.
I could always take a break as far as like tattooing or those social media stuff.
Tattooing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't.
It's almost like you capped off your week with like a bang or two.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
It always
San Judas.
it's the San Judas. Yeah, I
Mhm.
kind of like rested my hand because, lately, if I don't know how some people do it when they tattoo all straight across every day, like, or maybe it's just my bones are getting tired, but I feel like a numbness.
Oh yeah, we were
Do you
talking
feel
about
that?
this too. Yeah, he was.
And I
stretching,
find myself like going like this a lot.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
And you feel like a sharp pain when you move it to a certain way.
No.
You haven't got
No,
that?
Nah, you're fucked up.
How'd you get that checked?
Yeah, I go get checked though.
The honesty.
No, yeah, dude, I feel like certain times, like I'll feel that numbness, and then if I like move my arm to a certain way, like I move my wrist, I get a sharp pain that goes down my arm.
Yeah, that's pretty severe, bro.
That's good.
I talked to Tara. She said I just got Tara's our chiropractor. So I told you about it, right? It's these muscles right here on the forearm.
Mhm.
She's like, sometimes you just gotta break those muscles down and then stretch out.
Stretch out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just feel numbness in this area. Like I feel like it's a little bit more tighter, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
That's
so I
your
feel
tattooing hand too, right?
Yeah, that's what my tattooing. So it's a lot of this.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's probably that same muscle because she said go to her and she'll tell you like right here. She'll do some shit right here on your forearm
Mhm.
that hurts a lot.
Yeah.
It hurts. It made me cry.
Yeah.
And after that, it just got way better.
Yeah. And so if I let it rest for a couple of days, I didn't plan for the rest, but if that's how would have happened, if that's what happened, then it was nice because then I did a 10-hour San Judas, huh? And I was like, damn. So yeah, it's good for rest. You
What about
excited?
you, Romeo?
About my week?
Yeah. how's
Dude,
your week?
honestly, days don't even feel like days. Like I don't even like it just feels like every other day almost, you know?
That-
But it's like I don't even remember that it was a week, you know?
That's dope.
Like, life just feels like life.
Isn't that great?
Feels cool. Yeah. Feels cool.
Because like a year ago, you were just like, you're Monday through.
Friday or something.
You knew what
Looking forward to
you felt like it was a Monday. You felt like it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
waited for that Friday. You waited for that Saturday.
I guess podcasts like reminds me that it's Monday. You
Yeah, I
get
was
me?
about to say that
Yeah.
too. Like I feel like I know it's Monday because it's a podcast.
Mhm.
Oh, but other than that,
But then like tomorrow it's like back to the grind almost, you know, like
Yeah.
back to. So I guess my life right now has been constantly just the grind, really.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
This day's like a little break. Feels good. For sure. Damn.
I'm like, okay.
It's like, shut the fuck up.
That's some corny ass shit, bro. That's good, bro.
No, that was good.
That's good.
Nah. For me, I ended up doing that run this weekend.
Oh yeah, you had an exciting weekend.
Yeah, fucking painful weekend. I ended up doing a 15K Tough Mudder. It was cool. It was definitely mentally challenging trying to finish it all. Because I was telling Carlos, like, so many fucking times I could have just been like, I'm so close to the exit, I could just leave right now. So many times. But I was like, nah, I gotta finish it, you know? I put it in my head that I didn't care how long it took, I was just gonna finish it.
You did every obstacle?
No, not
No?
every.
Which one did you say like, nah, fuck that?
The ones where you have to do like the monkey bars, some shit like that,
where
and
you
go
hang?
up, and then it's a wheel and shit like that.
Okay.
Damn.
And then you have to jump to the wheel and then jump to another wheel that's the other way around.
Sounds
Yeah.
like Ninja Warrior. Or
Yeah,
something,
that's
bro.
exactly what it was. That's where Alex cut
Got
off
hurt?
yeah, he
got hurt?
He these calluses right here.
Uh-huh.
I guess while he was doing that,
They
they
ripped.
pinched and it ripped off. Yeah, it was bleeding out right there. I saw some girl. She pulled a muscle right there.
Anyone fall off?
Oh, a lot of people.
Yeah.
That was
like
hilarious.
breaking shit?
No, because you fall in water.
Do you
Oh,
sign a
okay.
waiver right before? When you get
when
there?
you buy
or-
the ticket.
Oh, that's
That's the waiver. Yeah,
Oh.
that was
Hey,
cool.
When you're going through those obstacles, do you think about stuff like tattooing?
No.
Are you thinking about the butterfly you did yesterday?
No?
No, I'm thinking
okay.
about how not to die. Like one of the obstacles, dude, like you're supposed to jump. So you jump to grab onto the swing, right? And then it swings you up and then you have to hit a bow, right? I was about to jump and I felt like, I was like, yeah, you ever seen you ever see The Simpsons when Homer jumps the cliff with the motorcycle?
And he's going
Yeah, and he's all like, yeah, I'm gonna make it, right?
Yeah.
And then when you're like halfway there, he
and
hits
gravity,
the wall.
gravity just hits you or something?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. My foot was off the air. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab it. And I was like, nope. Straight into the water.
I'm just glad you didn't reference a SpongeBob scene. You did
You would've felt
Simpsons.
left out, huh?
I could have. No, but yeah, it was cool. It
Was the beer you get a beer at the end?
Oh man, that beer went down so good. We
So-
got a beer and a shot.
So did everybody spread out and do their own thing, or you guys stayed in a group?
For the most part, we stayed in a group. We had Rosie, who it was last minute for her to go.
Right.
She didn't even know about it.
Rosie's your...
My sister-in-law.
Cool.
We just took her and she said, all right, let's do it. So I didn't want her to stay by herself. So most of the time I stayed with her, which kind of helped me out because honestly, after like the 6th mile, my whole leg just started cramping up. And they do treat you well. Like they give you water, they give you Gatorade, they give you bananas and protein bars and all that. But yeah, my whole leg started cramping out. I couldn't move. I couldn't move faster than just you know how you could barely walk. I couldn't jog or nothing.
Mm.
And at
It
one
was
point
slow.
it dropped me to the floor and I was like, I just cramped up bad. I had to let that whole pain go and then just keep moving.
How'd Brian do?
Brian did good.
Yeah.
So we didn't know this. We thought it was just one big hill, right? So when you first start, it's a big elevation, right? And we're going up that hill and we're like, fuck, dude, man, fuck this. And it's 2 miles up and then it's a mile down. And the mile down is just straight steep down. So you're on your ass the whole way. And we're like, cool, that's it. No more going up hills. We get to like the 4th mile and you don't look like you're going to go up. But then you start going way up higher and it's higher than the first hill. And that's where it gets a lot of people.
Mm.
It's that 2nd hill. But yeah, it was cool.
What'd you guys eat after?
Carnitas.
Where?
Rosie had a guy that makes them, I guess, right there in Rialto by your house. He
Also,
makes-
you guys ordered them, and
Yeah, ordered them, got them.
so I remember when I did one with Shirley, it was like a Tough Mudder type thing, but it was
Mm.
more like just like cross hiking over there in Paris.
Yeah,
Dude, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and we tore up like 20 each, 20 wings.
bro.
We
Honestly,
ate a lot.
for me, like as soon as we finished that, I took off my shoes immediately because I had fucking, it was painful. And I had bloody blisters on my feet. And so I was wearing my sandals. And I was just tired. I could not move. Like my whole body just went into like complete shutdown.
Damn.
But I did not train for it. That's the thing. now looking at it, we're gonna do it again next year. I'm definitely gonna train for it more. At least hike more.
Alex runs a lot, so did he do good?
Alex, yeah, he did 15 miles. He runs about 15 miles a day.
But did he do like he left you guys or
For a while, yeah. We told him to go. But yeah, I was like,
did you go under the electrical things?
yeah,
Does that hurt or not?
yeah.
Like
Well,
how they describe it or nah?
I didn't get shocked. I didn't get hit. I touched the pole, and that little pole that holds all the things shocks you when you're touching it. So I just felt my wrist like click in.
So
basically.
just adrenaline kicks in that you just like
I
don't
guess
feel
so.
it?
I didn't get hit, so
oh
I seen people get hit. They drop down to the floor. It's pretty bad.
What, bro?
Yeah.
damn.
You're running through these electrical basically strings that are hanging down that shock you.
Yeah.
So the
And
Low
like
voltage.
you go to like low voltage. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like
Bro, he said people are falling like
No, well,
imagine, dude.
like oh that one's dead.
well, because you're in mud, you're in water,
Oh,
and then you get shocked by it. So it's pretty bad.
yeah.
Brian went through it.
Brian, me and Rosie and Brian, Alex didn't want to.
What?
Yeah,
Ali? Oh, I'm gonna.
It makes me like I don't know.
yeah. The one I was going through, and I got super claustrophobic immediately, and I was like, nope. I returned back. Was there's a little like it's water with fences on top. You have to hold on to a fence and like fucking put your face out and then barely breathe from there. But you're like underwater the
Oh
whole way.
shit!
What kind of
Dude, as soon as I hit that, I went in like 5 feet and I felt water just going to my nose. I'm like, no, fuck this. I got scared. I backed out. I was like, fuck
So there's
this.
like only a little gap where you can breathe.
Yeah, but imagine other people around you and they're moving, so they're creating waves. So those waves are hitting your face the whole time.
How far away?
Huh?
How far of a length do you have to go?
Probably like from here, probably from like room to room.
Oh, that's still.
Yeah.
are people
And it's
watching
muddy
it?
water, huh?
You would think there would be a lot more like people that are watching. No, not really.
Damn.
It's just participants.
Yeah. But everybody helps each other out. Nah, what thing they did so you won't see the mud is they put color dye in the water.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just
Did anything weird happen?
weird like.
Like, did somebody pass out?
Oh yeah.
Did somebody?
He said weird.
Someone got
like
a heart
broke-
attack.
Really?
Someone got a
Or
heart attack.
Not weird. I guess that's the wrong term, huh?
Dramatic.
Anything dramatic or like
Someone got a heart attack. A lot of people got hurt.
anybody start crying
Yeah.
inside? Everybody.
Inside everybody, but at first it was funny because we all had that high hopes, like, yeah, we're gonna do this, right?
Reality set in.
Yeah, reality set in once we got to that first hill. You see so many people like, because there's participants that are doing 15, there's participants that are doing 10, and there's participants that are doing 5.
5K.
And while you're on the trail, everybody goes first, do the same trail. And as you're doing the trail, it splits you off. There's signs 5K this way, 10K that way, 15K that way, right? So you see these people that signed up for the 15 and they're like, fuck this, I'm doing the 5.
Let me rethink this.
Yeah, after the first hill.
You guys did the 15 one?
We did the 15.
Crazy ass.
That's cool.
That's cool.
But, I dedicated myself to do it and I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna go all in, you know?
And that's a good little segue, man. You know, like, and I guess in everything we have to go all in to try to do something good. You learned it from first experience, like with Tough Mudder. You didn't practice. You went to the gym every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
And so you weren't ready, you know. And that's a topic we can talk about today. Introduce the topic, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the transitioning from safe to unsafe, or how would you say, safe to
Yeah, that's a good way to
Comfort,
put it.
getting out of your comfort zone.
yeah, comfort to uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. So for me, that Tough Mudder was definitely uncomfortable for me. I haven't done extreme hiking like that in so long, and it's my first time actually doing something that bad of or
Intense.
that intense since I hurt my back. You know.
Are you feeling back pain right now?
No, I mean, yeah, no, a
A
little,
little bit, but not.
not as much.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, that was super uncomfortable for me. And I guess you could say that for real life, like too, like that we're talking about artists transitioning from a regular day job to trying to become a full time artist, where this becomes their bread and butter. That could be really uncomfortable.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
Because you're wondering, is it gonna be rewarding? Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna be a good decision?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? So going all in is the topic today, and that we're gonna compare it from tattooing to our daily lives. You know,
And I feel like everyone's done this. Everyone has gone through this in their own way. Even if it's just not tattoo artists, like you said, everyone in their own daily lives. Carlos, I feel like he's done it. He's with this photography thing.
he's all in now. Look at him with his fancy cameras and his.
Remember how long it took us to convince him to buy those lights?
Yeah, man. It was like 4 episodes. Come on, bro. Buy lights. We look too dark. No, I'm just kidding. And now look at us. We just need a makeup guy now. Makeup artist. So definitely going all in. But what are the challenges? Why do you think people they don't want to go all in, or maybe they do want to go in, but they don't pull the trigger? What do you think?
I'm gonna push this one to Carlos, because we were having a great conversation before this. Those topics you made about people being. Come on, you. Like, what was the question again? Give it to him.
I say, what do you think? What do you think is such a hard decision to go all in when we know we need to do that and we just don't? Because what fears do we have?
Well, I think it's like fears of the unknown, and like also being comfortable to a certain lifestyle, like knowing that you're making this much money doing whatever you're doing, and you know that if you go in feet first for something, you don't know what the outcome is. A lot of it's kind of fear-based, but if you have the right people around you, you're gonna find the right place.
Yeah, that's true, because maybe that's the problem. You don't have the right people in front of you, because if we're constantly telling this young man right here, just go all in, dude. Right now, you work a job, and now we're letting you tattoo now. So now you can book your own stuff. And if we don't give you that motivation around daily, like, bro, just go all in, dude. You're going to be good. Look, this is what you got to do, this. Then you're going to get more comfortable to try to figure out and get close to it. But if you didn't have us and you're trying to go all in at your house, you don't get that positive reinforcement all the time from people. So that's probably why it takes. That's one of the reasons why I didn't go all in at first.
Mm-hmm.
Tattooing out of my house. I was part-time, and it took me a long time. It took me to grow in steps of what I've grown in the last 2 years. It took me like 6-7 years.
So then you can speak on what were you afraid of?
Of losing what I had at the moment. Like, I built such a comfort working for a school district, making X amount of money. I think I was making like $25 an hour or something like that. Full benefits and everything. So if I quit that, I just cold turkey cut that,
Mm-hmm.
I automatically lose my my benefits, my sick pay. I mean, I had all the holidays, bro.
Now, during that time, were you tattooing?
Yes, I was tattooing. I would get home at about 3:34, and I book an appointment at 5. 5 to like 12.
What kind of tattoos were you doing?
I was doing medium sizes. I definitely wasn't doing huge pieces like I do now. I would do like 5-6 hours worth of tattooing, and it was a lot slower because I wasn't as consistent. and my work wasn't as skilled because I wasn't doing it enough. But looking back, why didn't I just go all in earlier is because I had set this environment of having, by other people's standards, a well-paying job, a government job, meaning like a union, like it's hard to fire somebody from there.
Mm-hmm.
I would go in late and they wouldn't fire me, I would be there 8 hours, but I would only work 3 hours of actual work. The rest was like BS. By the time I took my lunch,
Mm-hmm.
that was towards the end. It was never at the beginning. So I was in a super comfortable area, and I had benefits, and I had my kids had just been born. So full benefits. I go to a premium doctor, and everybody would say, oh man, I guess like in the medical community, to have a real good benefit card was like, oh, come in, welcome. It's like us holding it's like nowadays getting the black card and probably giving it to somebody like, oh, you got good credit? Yeah. It felt like that, dude. Honestly, like I would go to a private doctor and I was showing my card. It was Blue Shield, PPO, personal. I mean, and they would treat me like, oh, you got really good benefit. Where do you work? Oh, school district. Oh, that makes sense. And so me, I didn't use it to the best benefit, but I was scared of losing that.
Yeah.
And I had to, but what made me the decision is my fear of regretting I never pulled the trigger grew bigger than the fear of me losing what I had. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's when I made my decision. And maybe that was my personal reason, why I did that. And now I don't look back because I've gained way more. Yeah, I lost some stuff, but I've gained way more opportunities in this way.
Do you feel like it was really hard for you once you give up, you quit?
No.
Like right in the beginning, like did you go through a rough patch where you're like, you had to suffer a little bit to get what you wanted?
I suffered financially.
Yeah.
I suffered financially first. That was, and I was and that's probably why I didn't pull the trigger sooner. But you know what? That wasn't what was bothering me. More, I gained mentally. Mm-hmm. I was happy. I was unhappy going to this job because it was a job. It wasn't a career. I was just a worker. So I let that go, and all of a sudden this peace came into me. That even though I was making a lot less money because I worked with my brother for a little while, I said, hey, bro, I'm going to quit over here. Can I work with you? Mm-hmm. Can I work in your business? And yeah, at the end of the day, after I had the numbers up and everything, I was making less. I was still making some livable money, but I made a transition where I knew I could make just enough to pay my bills, but not enough to go eat steak or eat a good restaurant or enjoy some weekends off. Like I knew that those sacrifices had to stop. Mm-hmm. But what I gained is the happiness. Like I was actually like, I would wake up and I'm like, I don't have to drive over there. All right. Who cares if I'm making less money? Mm-hmm. So that overpowered that what you said earlier, what do you call it?
You know what I was thinking about though? Now I think about it, you actually had 2 transitions then.
Yeah, so that means you got to transition from your brother's job into full-time tattooing too. Right.
Also,
because now you went from a school district to your brother's job, right? And tattooing on the side as a side hustle.
So when did you let go of your brother's job? Like how was that?
Because when we opened the shop, he was still working on there.
That was more of a leap though. It wasn't a transition because when I was working with him, I was tattooing a lot more, I think, right? I think then when we opened up the shop, I was more consistent. That was more of an artist leap. I was all in on myself, but it was more artistically. I was consistent there, I just felt like leaving that school district for me.
That's your big transition.
That was my biggest transition of letting a fear of not sure where my paycheck was coming the next day, the next week. And over there, every 1st and the 18th, we would cut a check. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no. I'm tripping. It was it was twice a month. And I already knew what the amount was.
Yeah.
So I had to plan accordingly. To me, that was going all in on believing in myself, whether working with my brother, because right there wasn't a steady paycheck. It would depend on how much we hustle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what my week was. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I went all in on believing in myself. And then when we opened up, so I did that for a couple of years. And then when we opened up the shop here, then it was just more of maybe a smaller leap, but it was more of a focus in the actual art.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why I questioned myself, like, why? Because I was scared of losing what I had.
Mm-hmm.
You build something, or you're afraid that people are going to judge you, I think, you know? I would hear that. I wasn't too much bothering me. It was more of like losing what I had for my family.
Were you confident in your tattooing work in order to make both of those transitions?
You know what? I knew I could grow more. I always knew that. I always knew that I wasn't doing my best every time I was tattooing. I mean, I would try my best, and my clients would get my best at the day, but I knew that I could do a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I was limited on time that I was spending on it because I was my mind and body was focused in another place. So that's my story, you know what I'm saying? That's how I did it.
So these are like, since we're talking about transitions, a lot of people are facing different transitions, right? For you guys was more of like, you guys learned yourself tattooing wise, transition from a job to going into full-time tattooing. In your case, it's basically the same, right? Because you hustled with what you wanted to pursue, but you knew you wanted to do tattooing as well. So speaking, how was that transition?
For me, when I got back into tattooing, because I had quit, I was tattooing just on the weekends as well. I was working at a school district as well, but I was working with the students, right? At the time, I thought I wanted to go into teaching, and I was going to school full-time as well. So I could only tattoo Saturday and Sunday. And then I think it does go back to the happiness thing. Like, I realized like I was more happier tattooing than I was going to the school district or to the school to go teach or help the students. I hated the politics of school districts. I hated all that. And I, like Ricardo said, same thing. Like, you knew you were going to get a check every 2 weeks or so, right? With tattooing, especially when I started, I didn't know. I was barely making $200, $300 a weekend, working all day. And because I was giving 50-50 and all that. And I was new to the city. This was in San Diego. But I enjoyed being there more, you know? So when I made the transition, I kind of did the same thing. I gave my 2 weeks up on the other side, on the school district. I said, I'm done. And I went full on. I talked to the owner of the tattoo shop, and I was like, hey, like, is it cool if I could like be here more than just the weekends? Like, yeah, just give me a days you want to be here, and then you come in. So I would go to school, and then as soon as I finish school, I'll go tattoo. And then from there, go tattoo, go home, do homework, and then do the same thing the next day. And then still work all weekend to try to get much. So what I realized is the more I was there, the more I would get out of it, because that was more of a walk-in shop. So I have to be there to be able to get that money. That transition, it was a little scary too, because again, you don't know when you're going to get, paid or not, and I still had tuition to pay for, and I still had like my living expense, and San Diego is not cheap, It's one of the most fucking expensive cities in the United States. So I had to figure out a way to come up with that money, even though it was slow. I had to figure out what to do. So on the side, I was doing those graphic designs that we did for Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to like fraternities, be like, hey,
Let me do a filter for you.
Yeah, let me do a filter for your event, you know? Or I'll do logos for different barbers and fucking other artists. Be like, hey, let me vector this for you, kind of thing.
And if you would have stayed in that school district job, you would be tattooing less, but yet you wouldn't have to try to figure out how to make more income, right?
Yeah. Again, because I was comfortable with the money I was getting at. Yeah, I think it's just that. That initial leap is fucking scary. I'm not gonna lie. Because I wasn't prepared. I didn't have no savings. I was making minimum, which at that time was I think like $12 an hour or $10 an hour. And I was only working 4 hours a day and then going to school the other time. So I wasn't making a lot of money, but it's still some money that helped.
And money that was guaranteed.
Money that was guaranteed. And then that when you cut that off, again, it's scary. Like, what are you going to do? But you figure out how to supplement that income.
What was a trigger that you decided I'm gonna quit the school and I'm gonna just go all in on tattooing? What was a trigger? Like my trigger was I don't want to live with a regret that I always said I always wanted a tattoo shop, right? That since I started, I was like one day I'm gonna fucking make a tattoo shop and I'm gonna give people a chance that like I never got a chance, right? That was always, remember we talked about one day I'm gonna do that. One day I'm gonna do that. I didn't think we were gonna be business partners, but that was a blessing, you know. But I go back to what I said, like my trigger was like I don't want to live with a regret, knowing that be that guy that man I could have had a tattoo shop, but I didn't. What do you think was your trigger?
Might sound weird, but I feel like my trigger was that tattooing always came back to me. You know what I mean? No matter how many times I put it down, no matter how many times I quit, no matter how many times I didn't feel like doing it, or I was just like, whatever, I did it for fun, now I'm done. And I tried to go into a whole different career, it always came back to me. When I moved to San Diego, I quit tattooing. I had to quit tattooing already for about a year. I got there, I was not tattooing for about 6 months. And then I got offered a job on the spot, you know. To me, that was a sign that was like,
You got offered a job at the shop, right?
I got offered a job at the spot. Went to go get my ears pierced. The owner who saw my old work, he liked it and offered me a job on the spot, right? For me, that was okay, like something's going on.
It's coming back to you.
It's coming back to me again. So throughout those like 6 months, I was still working at the school district. I still had it in the back of my head, like, you know, it keeps coming back to me. I must do something with this, you know? So that had a lot to do with it. And it's just, again, just, I was just a lot more happier at the shop than I was at the school, you know?
You felt purpose already there.
Yeah, I did. And I felt like I could do way more with this than I would at a school district, art-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, because at the school district, I didn't have a purpose.
No,
I was just like, there was nothing to look forward to. And when I quit there and I went to work with my brother, my purpose was I love business. So I was like, whether, you know, it was party rentals, you know, so that has nothing to do with art, but I love business. And he gave me the opportunity to market the business. So he let me, so that's when I started doing the YouTube for his channel, the marketing, the Instagram, and even doing the graphic design that I learned on the computer every night. He let me kind of like use all those tools that I gained that I always wanted to try on. He let me do it on his business. You know
what's crazy though? Like me and you, no matter, we didn't work together for 4 years, 5 years. He was doing your own thing, I was doing my thing. But we always bounce back ideas. You ever realize that?
Bad memory, bro. You gotta remind me.
So like when I would go get tattooed by Ricardo, I would learn something new, like on Photoshop, and I'll show him. And then he'll learn something new that he learned by himself, and then he'll show me.
Yeah, like we both, I see what you're saying now. We both knew that this Photoshop thing. Well, you took multimedia, right?
Yeah, I took multimedia.
So you learned in college, and I was doing it at the college of my fucking room.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing though too. Like going back to like the whole side hustle and everything.
Yeah.
It was funny because I would learn tricks on Photoshop in class, right? They'll teach us this. Say those filter things. They'll teach us, okay, how to vector them, how to create them, how to take out the background and do all that. Well, I would learn it, and as soon as I learned it, I would try to sell it. So I would try to hey, I'll do this logo for you. Or I'll go to a club, hey, I see your club's doing this. I could create this logo for you guys, just pay me so and so money. And anything I would learn, I try to immediately go try to do it to sell it to someone. That was another side hustle I have to do to try to overcome the income thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and for me, with the Photoshop thing, I just knew that's an extra. That's like having if you have a screwdriver, the electrical screwdriver, a power drill is the Photoshop. You can do the job faster with that. For tattooing. So I knew I had to learn it. So that's why I'd always jump on. While I was working over there, like I literally couldn't wait to get out, and I had my sketchbook always carried a backpack with my sketchbook, and I always draw some stuff. When I would get home, I'd eat, hang out with the kids a little bit, take a shower, and then I'd go in my studio, and that would be my happy place. And I remember I had my coffee, had my Mac, clean, and then I would like, all right, Ricardo, create something, learn something. My job was to learn something new every day, but it didn't work like that. You don't learn something in one day. You learn it in a span of a month. Yeah. So like vectoring a logo. If you guys don't know what vectoring a logo is if somebody draws a logo, you scan it into a computer, and the logo's in black and white right there. Now you have to tell the computer how to read it by making connect the dots type of thing. That's called vectoring. And the reason why you want to do that is so that you can resize it and it's always perfect geometrically, right?
And pixelated.
Pixelated and everything. So yeah, there's a scanner on it, but to do custom like calligraphy letters, they come off wonky a little on some of that. So you have to freehand the dots, the vectoring. So, all right. So my job was I made a logo because I could draw it, scan it, and I wouldn't be able to learn everything in one day. It would take me like a month because I would start vectoring, and then I knew I needed to do, how can I cut this piece and remove it and move it over to the other side? I didn't know that, so I had to go on YouTube and watch it, and then I would be stuck and literally I'll watch the TV and just try to fuck with it, and it wouldn't learn, and I wouldn't learn it.
And then you have to go to work.
Then I had to go to work. It's 12 at night, so I gotta go to sleep. So this is this is the stories that people don't know. The way I make it look easy on the computer now, it's because of this exact story here. So I go to work, and it's be on my mind like, man, I need to do that cut. I need to separate those two pieces and then move them out. So I go home again, and then I'd clear my head, and then I would figure that step out. And then I figure another step. So by the time I'm done with the whole logo, it's like a 3 weeks of trying to figure that out. Now I can do it in 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a teacher to tell me. I would just do it by myself. And I knew that I had to do that so that later on I could be more efficient, So I was always doing that as I was working with the school district.
And that was part of your transition as well, to learn that more, so you could do it for Freddie, for your brother.
No, with him it wasn't vector. I mean, I vectored his logo, yeah, but on his business it was mostly just like video editing.
Oh, okay.
So that's the same process. I would record some stuff for his videos, and then I would put them into Premiere Pro, and then I had the video going, and I'm like, shit, how do you do this transition to go over here? Or why does it look like this? So then I try to figure it out. Then I go on YouTube, and I would have to stop. So the next day I come back and I did that. It wasn't all in one day. But now, I mean, you've seen the videos that we create here for Iconic. They're fast because I was able to do this work, this leg work, I guess you can call it, back in the day when I wasn't all in,
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, and It's the little things you have to figure out again to do that's going to improve what you're trying to go in all in for, or help that transition make easier, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially if you have an income to kind of offset.
Yeah, that helps.
Because now you can add that to your artillery. Like basically, okay, I could do this now. I can do
And
that
I'm glad
now.
you said that, because we can say like an analogy like this. Look, it's like you start a trip from the West Coast to the East Coast, and you're going to backpack it, right? And then along the way, you take a backpack, it's empty, and you start picking up stuff that you learn. To get to the East Coast is going all in, right? That's the analogy I'm going to use. So as you're walking through, or whatever, you're picking up knowledge from other places, right? And you put it in your backpack. That was what I was doing. I knew eventually I had to go all in to get to the other side. So I had to learn Photoshop on the way over there. And I think that's probably why people don't go all in. Now that I'm like rethinking this whole situation, is maybe because they're not putting in stuff in their backpack all the time, knowing that they'll need it later. That's why you have to probably reverse engineer yourself. Where do you want to be, and what kind of tools do I need to be in that position? And that's kind of what I did.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like the Photoshop thing, just like you did it. That was the tools putting in my backpack. So when I get to the East Coast, my backpack was kind of full. You feel me? And when I decide to move to be a tattoo artist, the Photoshop game was on lock. And now I felt like I can use that more. So maybe if you guys think about going all in, decide why haven't you pulled the trigger to go all in? Is it because maybe deep inside you really don't know?
Is it scaredness or is it confidence?
Yeah, maybe you don't have the confidence because you don't have the knowledge. Like let's say you want to be a photographer. Man, I want to quit my job because I want to be a photographer. But do you know about focal points, or what do you call them?
What?
When you set the F focus, or what do you call it?
F-stop.
F-stop. Do you know anything? Do you know about lighting?
Yeah.
Do you know about that? Maybe you don't, but you envision yourself at the end, but you haven't taken any tools to build that along the way, so that when you're ready to pull the trigger and be a artist, a photographer, you've learned some of those. Because I hear it time and time again, yeah, I want to do this, but well, have you done something to work yourself to get closer to there?
Yeah. I mean, perfect example right here is Carlos. Mr. Photographer over here.
He's very movie today. He's very movie. He's very physical today. He's moving all around. I like that.
Too much monster.
Too much monster?
No, just coffee, and my back's a little messed up, so I can't sit for too long.
Well, let's hear the story. Like, I mean, you had a simple story as well too, right? Transitioning story like that.
Yeah.
Do you mind explaining to us?
I can give you the elaborate version of it. Basically, a lot similar to Ricky's, working like a dead-end job. Even though the pay was okay and good, I just felt complacent, and I felt like I had other purposes. And media has always been a part of my life, but it was always like a hobby. Like, I'm just doing it for fun. I'm doing it on the side. I don't really look for money out of this. And then one time it just dawned on me to just start trying to make money. And fortunately, I have a brother-in-law who owns a business. And at the same time as I was looking to quit a job, he was looking to hire somebody to help him with the media aspects of his business. So we cut a deal, and I worked with him for a little bit, and then eventually it became full-time working with him. So the transition was tough, but I think just pulling the trigger was the most relieving.
Explain to us a little bit of that transition though. Like, what'd you have to give up? Like,
to be honest, just money. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I had to give up.
And sometimes that's the hardest thing.
Ideally, yeah. But once you figure out getting across that bridge, it's like, it's so much worth it. So much more worth it. And you do struggle at the beginning a little bit, but if I look back now, like,
would you do it again?
Right, yeah. I would have started a lot earlier.
I mean, And then how long did it take you for you to start feeling more comfortable about like, okay, this is what I'm doing now?
Honestly, like a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was still like a side hustle, like get me through college. Once I get my degree, I'm gonna stop this, and now it's like full time. Like I'm already gonna get an LLC. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing all the big steps now. So
And that's another thing. Like you're still going to school, right?
yeah,
Yeah. For now.
yeah. So I'm gonna finish that degree, and then once I'm done with that, I'm full throttle with this, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Smart. So smart.
Because or else we're gonna be like
Or else the camera's on
empty,
us,
like
listening to
yeah,
it.
you know. So I'll send you that. But I don't know. Do you feel like you are you at that point where you're all in?
I think hearing you guys speak about it, I'm
Well-
actually in the position of what it's like to, you know, try to jump to full time. I guess like,
Yeah.
and I'm still battling whether or not I should or not, you know, and I'm still working my first job and I'm trying to be here. So right now I'm in the midst of it. Really.
But let me cut you off for a bit. The reason why we decided to choose this topic is because when you left earlier, me, him, and Carlos, this is all we were talking about for his transition. And we're trying to figure out a way, and he's trying to figure out a way.
Romeo is?
Yeah, of how to transition. And again, all these topics we brought up, it's because we were talking about it earlier, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Could it be though that you are in the transition? Like transition doesn't happen
He's
overnight.
currently in it.
I think
Yeah.
you're in that transition.
Yeah.
I think that's what's the beautiful part about this conversation we're having. You're in the midst of it and you don't know, well, you probably know that you're in some kind of a, because in some kind of a, what's the period of time that, because right now you're like,
He's in the storm.
he's in the storm. You're like, should I continue going through the storm? Meaning, should I keep battling 2 jobs or should I just, you know, should I not? I'm not sure if this is for me. Should I just, fuck it. Should I just listen to the guys and just quit my job already and just be here every day? I wonder how it would be, right?
Yeah.
All these things are going through your mind. And guys, making that all-in decision is not happen overnight. I battled it for a year. For a year, I battled it in my mind. And physically, I was there. Mentally, I quit a year before I physically quit my job. Going back to school district. I can probably say a year before that, my heart wasn't in it. I would go in and I can care less. If I was late, fuck them. Who cares? What are they gonna do? Fire me? Cool. Give me an excuse, you know? But I quit mentally a year because I was just like, this ain't for me. I was already looking other places, but I had to physically quit. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I never tell anybody this, but I just realized that I have dreams. I maybe call them nightmares then. I have dreams that I'm still waking up and I have to go in at 6 a.m. Bro, that means that's psychologically ingrained in my mind, that how much I was thinking about it. Your mind brings out the stuff that you think about all the time.
Yeah.
And I sometimes I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, shit, I have to be at work. I'm like, holy shit, no, you quit like 5 years ago, bro. I swear to God, it happens to me. It's the craziest thing. So to me, that tells me that I used to think about it a lot. And
Well, I used to go out partying, come home, sleep for like 2 hours, and then wake up because you have to go to work.
yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know how to express. You know, sometimes you dream about stuff, but you can't really like talk about it in a certain way that makes sense because you're like, wait a minute, where did this happen? You have to put things together. But I keep thinking like, I'm there at work, and then I'm like, man, Ricardo, just quit. It's going through my mind, just quit, man, just quit. But I'm there at work, and I'm like, oh, but you can't, you know? But I just do, and then all of a sudden I wake up, and I'm like, oh shit, I still dream about this shit. So fear holds us from a lot, dude. Fearful. And
So you're saying it right now, Romeo's in that state where he's clashing with like the whole fear, the whole unsureness of everything that's gonna happen.
Romeo, I think right now wants to quit so bad. He wants to quit his other job, and he just wants to be here every day. The reason why he doesn't do it is because his tattooing, he just started tattooing. So the amount of money he's making right now does not meet his amount that he needs to live that comfort that he was living before. Mm-hmm. So he's like, damn, I can't let this rope go. This lifeline where my old work is right now, because this lifeline is what's feeding me. But I guarantee you, once he has a cool month of making way more than he was making over there, he's gonna feel confident. So the all-in situation has to happen when it makes sense to you in your mind, and we all know when it benefits us. There's few people that can care less and be like, you know what, I don't care, I'll figure it out, and they quit. But I don't see Romeo like that. I see him you're very thorough and you question everything. Am I wrong or am I right?
No, yeah, you're hitting like nail on the head. I can't I feel like, yeah, you have these things you need to pay, and if I were to just let go of that, then I'm risking losing, like
losing what you have. Yeah, like the bill.
Yeah, I try to build my credit. Like I need money to, and then what if I jump the ship and then this doesn't work out, and then everything I built up for it just goes, out the window or something.
If you have passion for it and drive for it, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say that right now, even though we can promise him, bro, you're gonna have real good month soon, he can't go by that because we're not guaranteeing it.
But also it comes with, like Josh said earlier, could be sometimes, is it confidence? Is it, and I definitely feel like it's a confidence thing. Oh. So it's like, I don't think I'm not confident with my work, like my tattooing work, to be able to like go all in and stuff. There's going to be some person that walks in and wanting a lion. I can't give them a lion, What if I'm here someday and they ask for something and I can't do that? Then what? I'm just here all day doing nothing. You know what I mean?
But nobody is confident in the beginning, bro.
I'm just telling you guys what I'm thinking right now. So like, this is me in the storm, and these are my thoughts in the storm. So this is
the storm.
I like how you said it. Like, then what do you do when you're here all day if you can't do it? Well, you're building yourself. You can still be drawing here, creating something, a small design that someone else might like. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You might create something that day, even though you're just chilling here. You might create something that someone else likes. Now, guess what? That day was useful because you created a design that you're going to do on someone else now.
And to me, as like, I can't think that way because I have the stress of other things on my mind. You know what I mean? I can think of it that way, and I will do it. And then maybe when it happens, I'm like, damn, I'm grateful that like, you guys put that in my head and I did that because now it's paying off. Mm-hmm. But like during the moment, it's like,
it's hard.
It's hard because you have all these other stresses on your mind. Oh, I didn't go to work today, or I didn't get a walk-in today. And now it's like, what I got to do now? Like I lost out on that day.
I should have went to work. At least I could have made this amount of money.
At least something, and then, and then come here and then, eat my cake and, like have my slice and eat it too, or whatever the saying is. But you get what I mean. So I think those are the current thoughts that run through my head when trying to like go all in, I guess.
And going back to what we're saying, that you need to be in an environment that nurtures that. So like, that's what we constantly say to you, like, believe what we say. Like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna get the business coming in, in a shop. We can't guarantee it, but it's gonna happen, and we have to constantly like motivate him to do it. Because we've seen it. We've seen it with Johnny. We've seen it with Tony. Eventually, it happens. But what it goes back down to him is just that once the benefits from being a full-time or that part-time tattoo artist overpower the job that he has right now as an inspector, then it's going to be a no-brainer for him. I think the problem is being patiently waiting, huh? When is it going to come, right?
I think me, it's more so like, I just want to be good at tattooing, that we don't have to be worried about all this stuff.
What's good though? What's good?
Good is like,
what makes you a good tattoo
artist? Mako style.
Being confident that I can hit straight lines, or being confident that I could.
Bro, I see your lines. You hit good lines.
Yeah. Appreciate that. But what I'm just trying to make an example of like being confident that I could do whatever walks in the door. Like that I know how to shade at appropriate, like within. It's not gonna take me 24 hours. It's gonna take me that 10 hours.
I told you earlier. it's gonna take you more than a few months to do that. It's gonna take you about 2-3 years for you to be at least confident with anything that walks in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it takes time, dude.
Yeah. You're not gonna be amazing at shading, fucking just for tattooing one shading thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna be amazing at it. You're gonna constantly keep learning. So you can't put that in your head like, oh, I'm not gonna be comfortable to go all in until I master this and that.
Hmm.
You're never gonna master it. And that's the beauty about this industry. You're always learning. Like the other day, me and Ricardo sat down for 3-4 hours to talk about so I could properly shade and pack more black in, right? And I did it that day, last Thursday.
With the Egyptian piece.
Yeah, with the that Wednesday with the Egyptian piece. I sat down and I started thinking about everything we're talking about, and as I was doing it, I was just going through that in my head. I'm constantly learning exactly the same way. Ricardo's always learning too. He's trying new things. So I say that's a bad mentality to have, that you're not gonna start something till you master something else. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And I feel like Good is like you said, Good. He's very hard on himself. So you'll have that battle throughout your whole career, bro. It's never gonna be like, oh, I'm good now. After you're killing a rose, and everybody's gonna be like, damn, that's dope. You're still gonna be like, nah, but it's not there. So when is the right time then? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's not the right measurement. I think you should decide on when you go in. The right measurement for you is when can you be at peace that you don't miss that job. Right now you're gonna miss that job if you had a slow day here, you're gonna miss that job because you were thinking about the money you could have made. Because that's guaranteed money when you're over there. You feel me? Where right here it's not. That's the whole problem why a lot of artists don't go all in. Because tattooing is never steady.
No.
Even after many years, you know what I mean? Like you think you're gonna have a great month, and it doesn't work out that way.
Cancellation after cancellation.
So you have to plan for those days, and you have to just decide when is that best. And we're not gonna tell you we could, like, dude, all right, you're a full-time guy now, you need to quit over there. But we're not like that. I don't feel it's fair for you. I feel that you're a grown man, and you're gonna be able to make that decision on your own terms when you're ready, so that you feel that you made it when you felt right. Now, obviously, if it takes a year for you to transition, then we have to have that conversation and say, Romeo, you really all in? You see what I'm saying? But as you're doing more tattoos, that decision window is going to close on you. We can't have you as a half in for years. That's just not going to work, because we know the potential of the shop, of the clients that come in. We know what you can do, what you will be able to do. So
at one point, you're going to have to just make that leap of faith and be like, okay, you're going to have to sacrifice some of that comfort money that's going to guarantee to come in to, now I got to figure out how to get that money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And there'll be slow days. There'll be months where I just had a month where for 2 weeks straight, I got cancellations.
He was about to sell his nalgas.
Yeah, bro, I was already fucking. I was making OnlyFans. I was like, how do I do this?
That was it, huh? Shorty but goody.
Yeah. And no, I'm serious. Like, I was stressing out because we had just opened up the shop. We had this whole big ass overhead, and we're like, fuck, how am I gonna come up with my half to pay off everything? On top of that, how am I gonna come off to pay off my bills? If I just lost a month of income because everybody rescheduled or canceled on me, you know? And it's stressful, yeah, but you gotta think about it like, okay, I'm gonna get through this and I'm gonna figure it out, and then just fucking put your head down and grind. You know? It's a very volatile industry.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's what we love about it.
The
Because if
adrenaline
I
rush.
knew that I'm gonna make, $50,000 a month just by showing up, I'd be every fucking day, But that's not how it works. There's a lot of things that go into it to make that kind of money. A lot of reputation building. The people that make $50,000, there's artists out there that are making that and more a month, you know. But they've built such a consistent branding that they can do that. So
I guess it goes back down to the real question, like when you're ready to do that whole full-time transition to leave one, you got to ask yourself, are you willing to sacrifice some of that money and time for you to dedicate here and build something else up? Because over there you build it up to the point where, okay, you're getting the money you're getting now. Now you got to start a whole new build up over here, build up from the ground up, you know, and that's what you're doing.
And maybe audit yourself, you know, do I really need that much money? Can I, like, if you think right now you're squeezing yourself into that amount of money you have, maybe audit it and say, do I really need X amount? Can I just shrink it by 20%? You know, and then say, okay, maybe I don't need this. Okay, I can go without this for like 3 months so that I can make that leap forward. Because if you really, really want to, and this is not about a podcast about how to make an apprentice jump over. This is life, right? In anything, if you really want to make that leap. And before we started filming, I was speaking about losing weight. Many times we can do an analogy like that. You know, we try it a little bit, but we're not all in. We're like, we're going to try it a little. We're going to try it. But to make a drastic change, a drastic lifestyle, you have to go all in to make a change. And that's what I'm battling right now. I'm in that transition phase. I've contemplated, like, seriously going every day hard, twice a day in cardio, you know, so I can lose some pounds. And that's my storm right now. It's a little minor storm, but is it really a minor storm? You know, to me, it means a big deal. To you guys, it's not. Everybody has their own storm right now, you know, but at the end of the day, what do you want? You know, how bad do you want it? You know? So,
You know?
I know, man, I need to cut those you-knows out. Right? Can you beep them out? You know?
It's too many.
Why do I say that? A lot of people say, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? You
So
know what I mean?
let's try to, I'm going to say the rest of the podcast without saying beep. I wish Tony was here because he's a good example of that, dude. You know? And I already broke it? Fuck. Let's do it again. Ready? Cut. I wish Tony was here, man, because, you know? It's fucking
What
hard,
else?
dude, the way you
What
talk.
else could he say?
Yeah. You know what? And I was looking at podcasts, and when you specialize in speaking, you don't say those repetitive things.
No.
You just speak it. And I'm like, man, I want to learn like that.
Watch. There's good YouTube videos on how.
See, and my mouth wants to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you're about to say it or not.
See, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? That's hood talk, I guess, man.
You know what I
We're
mean?
in the hood,
You
dog.
know what I mean?
What's up? Where you at? What's up? What's cracking? I wish Tony was here because he did that transition. His storm was, he also went through that storm. Don't laugh at me because I'm not gonna say it.
I'm
fucker.
laughing because in my head I'm saying it for you.
Right? Because I would be the same. Yeah. And when he did it really good. You know, he did a good transition, but he had to.
Sorry, bro.
He did that leap of faith. Pretty big though.
No, his was big because he actually had a full-time job.
He had a baby on the way.
And I think he understood that, you know, that analogy that I was talking about, like going from the West Coast to the East Coast and packing up tools. While he was working that full-time job, he was here and he was building himself up. So he learned, he didn't know Procreate. He learned it.
He didn't know how to advertise.
He didn't know how to advertise. He learned it. That's another tool bag. So that he knew when he gets to that spot of being a full-timer, you're already ready. You know? And what triggered him? What was his trigger? I mean, I wish he was here to speak for it, but you were there with him.
I think it was when we went to Vegas. The
seminar, right?
Yeah, went to a seminar and we're in the hotel and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to work tomorrow, or I'm not going to work after this."
And I think I know. I don't want to speak for him, but I think I know what made him trigger it. He liked it. He was happy working at the steel company that he was at. It was not happiness for him. It was just a means to an end. But going to the seminar and being in that hotel was it was night and day. It was out of the routine. And he's like, if this is only a glimpse of what I'm getting, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tony, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel that's what happened. You know?
And he wasn't doing in big pieces.
No, he was
Doing
like,
small pieces he could do.
but he was consistent, right?
Yeah, within an hour or 2 hours, because he would come here after work and then he would leave here because he had to go sleep because he had to go back to work at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't doing big pieces, minimal shading, line work, things like that, walk-ins. If I had someone that walked in with someone, I'll try to get that. I'll try to like see if the other person that was here wanted to get a tattoo, so I'll give it to Tony to get something to do. We're always looking for, give them work at that point.
Yeah, I mean we were growing fast, and we needed to pass over other clients to other people. We couldn't take them all, and he was able to understand that, and Johnny too, and they were able to benefit off of that. But I feel like every artist has an all-in story. Obviously, they do, or maybe they don't. I don't know. But we all go through that transition phase of when do I have to just focus on the growth of this, you know? And maybe there's different stages in life of all-ins. It's not just an all-in one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got my trying to get Papi Chulo, back Rickytatt, I said it again, So that's an all-in one that I have to battle.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you want to go all in on what? Painting?
More painting.
So for you to be a full-time painter or a more consistent painter, what else has to happen? You have to be making money tattooing because when you're painting, you're not making money in tattooing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to build up your clientele base so that you can have enough money throughout the month that you can say, you know what, guys, I'll be here only 2 days a week. I'm gonna go paint.
Yeah.
So that's an all-in one.
No, and I think the way I'm gonna create that transition too is I already thought about this, is just make myself paint at the end of the day as well. So like after a tattoo, either go home or sit here and paint for like 2 hours, 3 hours. Create that little small transition first, before I make the whole leap.
Before the whole leap.
Yeah.
See that there's a.
But I've been thinking about it, like you said. I do want to paint more, and it's just the schedules are hectic sometimes. But I do think about how can I do it to fit it in, and now it's just about starting it.
Cool.
Do you know?
We should call this podcast.
Do you know?
Fuck it. That's how I talk, man. Like it or not.
You know?
You know.
You know what I mean? What was that dude from Philly saying? After every sentence, you know what I mean?
I think he did say that. Yeah, not you know what I mean.
You know
But
what I mean?
he said that Philly. He had that Philly accent.
Yeah, I
Know
mean?
what me?
Yeah, I mean.
Like sing their words a
Nah,
little
I
bit.
mean. Nah, I mean.
That's crazy. Those transitions, like everybody, we all use them
We all use them.
as fillers.
It's hard, but I'm seeing podcasts where they're well spoken
Yeah.
and they don't say that. They just say their statement and they stop.
Or they don't say
Yeah, they just say, or they don't say. I feel like, or in my opinion, they
Yeah.
just. Fuck, I said it again. No, I'm catching myself. It's like No, they just say what they gotta say.
Yeah.
Yo, podcasting is hard, guys. Because sometimes we check ourselves. We're listening to ourselves. We don't want to sound weird.
Yeah,
Right.
did you say, Carlos? You know? No.
It's tough, man. It's tough, but I'm glad we brought this subject up because I was thinking about it too. What kind of topic we can tell.
It made me rethink everything. Like, fuck, we had to go through a lot to get to the point where we're at.
And I think sometimes you have to look back and appreciate
Yeah.
all the stuff, dude. Come on,
Because
man.
when you're
Remember
going
where I was
through it, when you're going through it as well, you're not really thinking
No.
about it in depth like you are now. I mean, besides you right now, because we're bringing it up, right? But like, I don't think when I was going through it and you were going through it, you're really going in depth thinking like, fuck, all this.
This is
and
my
that.
transition phase.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're just fucking, you're doing it.
You're just doing it and you're trying to figure it out and you're like, should I go all in? Should I quit that fucking job already? Well,
Yeah.
you know, I could just be
I do remember one thing I did tell myself though.
what?
I said, "Fuck it, let's see what happens." That's one thing I remember telling myself, and ever since then, I was just like, "All right,
And that's what triggered me. I was already gonna do it a week prior to that,
yeah."
and it was in March because I quit April 1st. Did I quit on April 1st? Yes, I quit on April 1st because April 2nd is my son's
They
birthday.
probably thought it was April Fools.
Yeah. They're like, psych,
He'll be back.
because April 2nd, I told Shirley, I said, hey, we're going to Disneyland on that day. It was already planned. So on April 1st, I quit. I left that day, and I just told only told my supervisor. I said, man, thank you. I didn't tell my coworkers. I didn't tell my main boss. I just told him because I was talking to him prior to this, like, I'm thinking of quitting. And he said, you sure, man? Sure. I'm like, yeah, it's already. I quit a long time ago, mentally. Physically, I'm just showing up, you know? And the next day, I went to Disneyland, and I was happy, and I wasn't scared. I was not scared at all. Like, I was going through Disneyland, I remember, and just seeing my kids and having a good time, and I couldn't wait to wake up the next day and just start something new. Because I think I already had it. The regret fear, the fear of regret was so high that I was tired of having that regret.
How old were your kids?
It was 2016, so Ricky was 3, Ariel was 2.
That's crazy. That's 2016 is when I also did the transition.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're doing it in San Diego, huh?
Yeah.
And I did it over here.
When's your transition, eh?
We should have a transition party anniversary, an anniversary date.
Yeah.
So young artists, if you guys are watching this, like, this is some battles you're gonna have to make. And what's crazy is you're seeing one of our team members going through it right now in the storm, and he gets to be documented on this. So when he's balling out of his mind, making racks and tattooing, he's gonna open up YouTube, he's gonna see this podcast, and he's gonna be like, shit, you know, I was going through it at the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gonna motivate him even more. It's gonna bring him more hunger.
We're gonna look back at this and laugh.
Not laugh. You think laugh?
I think laugh.
I think he's gonna be more on fire. Because the way I see him working, he's gonna be more inspired. Like, the fire is gonna be lit more. Because he saw something. He's gonna be seeing himself right now. Like, tell yourself something right now, bro. Go on the camera and tell yourself something for you can watch this 3 years from now.
All right, future Ricky. Just remember this pain. And let that
Damn,
free
that's deep. Bro, I wish I could have told myself, Ricky,
Hey, Carlos, saca la tequila.
we need some tequila in this coffee. Eh? How do you know this wasn't tequila? Because I've been, you know.
You know, it was deep when I said my name. You know, my name is my name. No,
He
but
didn't say Romeo.
Yeah.
Bro, you're going to watch that shit and you're going to be like, I remember that moment.
and all the thoughts that are behind it. You know?
Yeah. You know, it's dope. It's dope to see that in a young guy. And the fact that you're going to make that transition with us, bro. That's crazy. And not only I want that from you, because I want other young people to go through this, you know? Any other artist that comes in the future, yeah, I want their transition to happen with us, because that means they believe in the brand, they believe in what we're doing, and they'll feel comfortable with us. And that's what we're about, dude. We're about fucking growing. Right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Cool. It was cool to hear.
Now let me talk to my future Ricky.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Yo, Ricky, you're looking skinny, dog. Hey, you should be fucking, good job. Be consistent on that gym. It's only next door, bro. Just go at it. Just like you did. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, look at the mirror. You look dope.
I could already hear you in the future saying yeah,
I told you, dog.
told you.
Let's see. What would you say to yourself, Josh? Híjole. Get off the phone. Cabrón.
Say, damn, you look better than Ricky.
Ooh, the challenge. The challenge.
A lot better than Ricky. Yeah, you did. Look
See?
at compare yourself to him next
Hey,
time.
he's
Compare yourself.
always try to get better than me, huh? Damn,
plan.
dog.
That's the plan. Honestly,
Hey, I hope
don't
you do,
compare
bro.
yourself to
hope
no
you do.
one. Compare, try to outbeat them, and not in a bad way.
And
In a
competition,
good,
bro,
In
yeah.
a way for yourself to be better.
Fuck yeah. Because when I see one of you guys doing a badass tattoo, that lights me up,
Oh yeah.
you know, and say, all right, I see you. And then and I try again because that's the whole point of being in a shop, bro.
Low key next to Tony, I'm like sometimes like, fuck this guy.
Fuck Tony.
I'm gonna beat him.
Fuck Tony.
What are you doing,
that guy,
Tony?
That guy
Yeah?
fucking, I don't know what he's doing. I think he has some hudas at home and he's just like, make me a great artist. No, shout out to the San Judas, man. I just recently did another one. I'm always amazed that people have a lot of belief in that, and that's to manifest. It's really manifestation in a statue, you know. I always love doing them, man. So, anything else? Anything else you guys want to say about All In? Young bucks, go all in. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a transition. It's all in means figuring it out for yourself and your why. Why do you want to do this? Do you really love it that much? Like, remember that dude Mario said that?
Yeah.
Ask yourself, you know, do I really want to go in it? And why? Because there's going to be a lot of issues. There's going to be times where you don't make no money. You're going to be here all day. You're going to make zero money. You're going to be like, why am I here?
Yeah.
You know?
But the more you hear, the more you get out of it.
But they don't know that.
That's
Because they haven't been through it.
I know. But I'm
So
saying
they have to
you'll
go through
figure
it.
Yeah.
Follow us, guys. Give us a subscribe. Let us know what you guys think about this topic. It was pretty deep topic. We didn't really laugh too much today,
They got us thinking.
but it's deep. And I think we need to have these conversations in the Inland Empire because there's other podcasts that are doing killer work like this with the content. So we want to bring it to you guys, Inland Empire. There's a lot of talent here, and there's talent, but maybe there's not a lot of guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where we can come in and help and see what we can help, and maybe they can help us too. There's a lot of older cats out here that have done it before, that have done the tattoo game. It's changing, but the tried and true practices still come to play. Respect your client, do killer ass tattoo, and keep grinding, keep finding new clients, and taking care of your old clients. That's the basics of everything. The tools have changed.
Yeah.
Before it was going outside to the swami and say, what's up? I tattoo, you want to get a tat? Now it's jumping on this. You don't even have to go outside anymore. So this podcast is for anybody that wants to be better, wants to grow. The IQ Project is a project for knowledge.
Oh, I like that.
We should end off for things like that.
You want to end it like that?
Yeah.
We should, yeah. It should
Like,
be like that.
what did I
quote.
say? Can you repeat that for me? Because I was speaking gems, but I was in the zone, bro. Why you have to kill it, bro? I was just like, yeah, right there. No, keep it real, bro. This is a real podcast, bro.
IQ Project is a project for knowledge.
The IQ Project is a project for bringing knowledge. The other way was better. I was like in the moment. So, you want to close it out?
Romeo.
All right, guys. No, it's okay. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching us.
And,
Did you endorse it?
Yeah, did you?
Did you endorse it? You didn't endorse today. Iconic is paying for this. You better endorse it.
Close it off.
So for all your shop needs and tattoos, Iconic Project has it for. Is that what you say?
No.
Something like that, right?
Beep.
No, but like, share, subscribe if you got something out of it, or maybe you guys have your own story want to share in the comments. We definitely going to implement comments and stuff in towards the end of our podcast. So share something, like, and all that good stuff.
We do have a comment from our last podcast.
Oh, let's read it.
Yeah.
As you're looking for it, I want to say too, What's keeping you guys from going all in tattooing if you're watching, or in any business that you want to do, whether it's jumping from working at Amazon to being your own, being a photographer or a makeup artist? What's keeping you guys? Let us know in the comments and we'll share them on the next podcast. Again, this is going up fast, so it's going to be relevant, you know?
So, John Tats, he left a comment for Mario's podcast that we did.
Yeah.
It's like, hell yeah, Mario's been needing an interview like this with some real game on tattooing. This is legendary.
Yeah, we appreciate that comment. John Tats, is it?
Yeah, John Tats.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that you actually said something very valuable there. This is real talk, and that's what we're trying to bring.
Yeah.
This is not like stage stuff. This is just real shit about the tattoo game, about just business, about the struggle. And I hope you continue following us. Hope you subscribe with us, because, you know, we're going to bring more of this kind of conversations.
Yeah, a lot more artists too. It's always great to hear their stories and their come-ups.
Cool. We out. Peace out.
So, let's go get a beer.